It's a pretty sort of bleak place where Charles ends up. A lot of his loyal allies have sort of left his side and are sort of coming over to Eric's side. Save the old friendship, Charles, and stay out of my way.
Michael, I think, actually brought down his performance, which made it stronger to me, not weaker. Michael brought the intensity and the realism and naturalism that he brings to almost all of his other movies naturally. Just that's who he is as an actor. That's his style as an actor.
I've lived with vengeance my whole life. So I killed whatever I thought would make pain go away. It didn't. So I stopped.
Michael really appreciated the opportunity to show a different face to Eric and what his philosophy would lead to in the overall scheme of the world of the X-Men.
He's so extraordinary at expressing so much with so little, and he does so much with his eyes, and he doesn't have to raise his voice to be firm and to be strong.
The girl dies.
For the first time, it's crazy, but now their fourth film together, Nick Hoult and Michael Fassbender have a couple scenes just one-on-one with each other.
I know we've had our differences in the past, but we both love Raven.
We've done scenes together, but they've always been the action scenes or at the other ends of corridors and not directly interacting with each other or in big groups. This was the first time doing a scene just one-on-one, a couple of scenes with Michael, which is fantastic. You've known him a long time and look up to him, so to take the chance to be there and have those moments with him was brilliant.
Why are you here, Hank?
You have eyes and ears around the world to help you find mutants for this place. I want you to help me find Jean.
With Hank, the goal and ambition was to give Hank the opportunity to call Charles out and sort of come into his own as a leader and as an individual.
I loved the idea that you take this really mild-mannered, meek character, which is what he's been in the previous films, but he starts to turn. And so it gave him this gravity and sadness and strength.
It's your fault, Charles. It's your fault she's dead.
Hank feels betrayed by Charles because Charles can't accept what he's done and the responsibility that he's made a huge mistake.
You need to face this, Charles. You need to face it. Come on, admit it to me right now. Come on.
Admit it. Charles, just admit you were wrong, please.
So, I know it doesn't look like it, but this is actually the exterior of your ex-mansion. We've seen it depicted in many movies, but I'm sure most of the time it would have looked similar to this.
There we go. Peace out, guys.
For Nightcrawler and Quicksilver, they are within the momentum of just doing well within their job and serving for the world and still growing within themselves. I don't believe they truly chose a side themselves.
So we're going to space.
Yes, Kurt, we are going into space.
We're doing space missions now. Cool. The X-Men are called upon to save the astronauts of the Endeavor. Quicksilver's getting a kick out of all the fame of being an X-Men for sure.
Quicksilver, played again by Evan Peters, has really come into his own in a more evolved, mature way, but he is still Quicksilver.
Be right back. Nightcrawler bamps me and him into the Endeavor to help save the astronauts as quickly as possible.
How does that go?
It doesn't work out. I end up forgetting one again.
Where's my brother?
Pretty sure I got everybody. I don't know what the deal is. I guess I'm going too fast. Need to slow down a little bit, take my time.
Nightcrawler feels scared and nervous going into battle just like anyone would, but at the same time, he is the first one ready to bamf.
Get me in that house now!
I love seeing Nightcrawler's actions in the scenes where they go out and he's in his suit and he's not just being the soft kind of funny comedic relief. There's a very serious sense to him.
The way that we played Nightcrawler in Apocalypse was really as comic relief. For most of this movie, he is still that sweet, innocent character. And toward the end of the movie, he sort of has his first real interaction with death at the hands of someone evil.
We could help you! Please!
It is a fulcrum in the life of Nightcrawler that makes him violent. And you see a different side of Nightcrawler than you've ever seen before.
In seeing the guard having lost his life, Cody's enraged, and it unleashes a violence and a rage we haven't seen from Cody before, which he visits upon his attackers. And it's pretty gratifying to see that character get to pursue that arc.
One of the fun things about making these X-Men movies is there's tons and tons and tons of characters that we've never explored in the X-Men movies that are really popular characters in the X-Men comics. And so in each of these movies, we've tried to feather some of those characters. And one of those characters was Dazzler. Because she's a huge fan favorite, it was someone that I spent a lot of time trying to figure out how to cast.
So here, I'm performing a song up on that mound. You can kind of see where those blue lights are. And I'm able to take the vibrations from the music and turn it into this beautiful light show. So it's pretty cool.
Dazzler, as her name indicates as well, is a brighter presence in the film. It brings this sort of vitality and fun and youthfulness. It's just really the energy that Dazzler has.
I have been working with a choreographer on the scene to try to get the vibe of Dazzler down. I've been talking to Simon a lot about how we want the light show to correspond with her movements and the rhythm of the music. And so we wanted to make it kind of something very unique and a little new and modern. And between the hair, the makeup, and the wardrobe, we're pretty true to the original comics. The one thing we did kind of change up a little bit is just the shape of the mask around my eyes. And we have amazing makeup artists who actually drew it specifically to my face.
I do think she'll have real impact for the fans, and I think even for people who haven't read an X-Men comic or heard of the character, they'll think, oh, that's an interesting looking character.
All right, that's it! We did it!
I always loved the character of Celine, and I'd seen this actress, Coda, who I just thought was really special. And again, just really interesting. There was something about her I hadn't seen before, and she'd never been on screen before.
Two birds, U.S.
Tell everyone to stay calm but ready.
I come from science. I used to work as a cardiovascular researcher, and it was my path. I knew I was going to be Dr. Eberhard. I knew I wanted to help people and I wanted to heal people. I never thought that I would be an actress. So to really step into this is unreal. Simon just said, you know, I really want you to exude someone who has wisdom and who can really bring that to life. You're really secure in your powers. You're someone that stands in and holds space for that.
You're not the only one who can control minds.
I have sweet weaponry skills where I pull out a dagger. It's embellished with gemstones. It's pretty gnarly.
Similarly, Ariki is a character who's not a big character in the comics, but someone in the comics who was always interesting to me when I was growing up and reading them and thinking he was cool. I wanted to include him also as part of Eric's cadre of sort of badasses because he's a badass character.
We're calling him Medusa at this moment, and he has these braids that are about 10 feet long that I basically have hand-to-hand combat with.
These bad boys here, they grow to about 10 feet. Red Lotus just uses his hair to wrap around her wrist and just capture her and just throw her all around the place. So hopefully it'll look amazing, you know?
Just goes in like that and then down.
And then down into all these
Yeah, right. It's gonna be good.
It's gonna be so cool. It's gonna be so cool.
Andrew's a stuntman, and I was watching him do the stunt rehearsals, coordination, choreography for what would eventually be the actor we would cast for Red Lotus. But there was something so interesting about his face, and he has a presence and a sort of life to him when he just in real life that I thought might be kind of interesting to just let him play the part. Also because primarily what he's doing in the movie is fighting. I figured, well, he'll do a better job of fighting than some actor we bring in to do 2 lines. Turned out to be actually a really good actor on top of being obviously an incredible fighter. It's funny, you know, this is the first time I've directed a movie, and I don't know that I'll ever get a cast that's going to be this good again as a director on a movie. We have been incredibly lucky to get these incredible actors.